there's this, so women have a whole phase, men have a player phase, okay? And I almost became a player, okay? As a matter of fact, hang on, a lot, I don't know if it's true, but I wish it, like, if there's women who are watching this, if you guys can, like, comment down below. Like, I really want to know, like, are women really like that? Like, just what I described about being a player, are women like that too as well? I don't know. Again, like, it seems to me like men just kind of want to have like a woman to themselves. They don't want to be going out there and like, you know, getting or hooking up with everybody. At least that's what I'm starting to feel. Bro, what? I've never heard of this. I have to do research on this. There's a disparity, and men are having more orgasms even though men aren't having sex. This is mind-blowing, bro. This is mind. I found this video, the girls are getting tired of hookup culture, and I'm very interested to see what she's gonna say, because there's a lot of videos that I see online, how they talk about how, like, you know, hookup culture destroyed everything, and, like, you know, it's empowering the women. I this is like the first time I hear of, like, you know, girls are getting tired of it. So let's see.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is hookup culture. I think the girls are getting tired of hookup culture because I feel like I'm seeing more and more videos now of women just who are just quite frankly fed up of dating. And I think that also explains why less and less women are on dating apps, and why a lot more women are now choosing to just be single. And I don't think that this is something that's exclusive to women. I think there are also a lot of men who are also sick and tired of the dating scene, and a lot of men who also have no desire anymore to take part in it.
Wait, hang on. Are you talking about like the dating scene, or are you talking about hookup culture? Because those are two different things. Because I can see how men are like kind of fed up with the dating scene. They're no longer being a part of it because, I mean, nobody wants them, you know? Like, at least that's the impression I'm getting from like all of these like channels that talk about that stuff. They look deep into it, so I don't know. They sound pretty convincing, but for all I know, I could be wrong.
Because of the current state of it. And so we're just going to kind of look into some videos. We're going to keep it specific to women on this video, and we're just kind of going to have a look into see what they're saying about it and talk about it a bit more.
Can we please take a minute to talk about college hookup culture? I feel like it gets swept under the rug so much, like not enough people talk about it. Personally, being 21 years old, I've always kind of found it like harder to relate to people in the dating world because I was always looking to go on like real dates, and I've always just kind of been a relationship person. I mean, thankfully I'm my great boyfriend now, so I'm not dating anymore, but I remember when I was single in college, it was brutal, man.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to,
I want to know how it was brutal, because there's people who could say that it was brutal, but when they actually explain it, it's not as bad as they probably make it sound. I wish she would kind of like elaborate on it, but let's see. Maybe she has more detail. Maybe I'm getting ahead.
The whole dates thing, to be honest, I think that women kind of ruin that. Hear me out. The truth is, if we're being honest, having an honest conversation, there are some women who will accept dates with guys who they're not interested in just so that they can have a free meal or free entertainment. So
that's real? That's like a real thing? Sorry.
Because of
there you go. That's a better face. Wait, that's a real thing? Like, so you're telling me that people, like women, will like swipe right or whatever the case is, however they get their dates, they will go on dates just so they can get a free meal? Because that sounds like a lot of work just to get free food. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I could see that, like, because there's this thing that people call beta orbiters, which is like the guy who always is around the girl just praising her. Maybe I can see how she would use him to get a free meal, but I don't know if like you're going out there to look for dates so you can get a free meal. That seems like a lot of work.
That I think there is a category of men who have just completely given up on the concept of dating because they've wasted so much money and time on dates that never amounted to anything, which is why I think the whole Netflix and chill thing became a thing, because it was a way for guys to not spend money but also still potentially get what they want, if you get what I mean.
Hookup culture is not empowering.
I totally agree with everything she said. And if you're someone who enjoys hookup culture, by all means, you do you, boo. I'm not judging. I want to offer like a slightly different take though. As a brown girl, I went through all of grade school not thinking I was pretty. And then I got to college and realized that I was kind of hot. So for like the first time in my life, guys who I found hot found me attractive. And I would be lying to you if I said I didn't enjoy that attention. I also feel like our generation has normalized like hooking up with someone first before you date them. But the unfortunate reality is a lot of times guys see that as completely transactional and you are fully disposable to them. And so you really don't gain much, especially if you're someone who's like me and you want more of a relationship. I just don't think that hooking up with someone is going to get you there.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Do you know what's crazy? Men will sleep with women who they would never be seen in public with. And as a woman, I was quite shocked by that, because women would never do that. The type of men that a woman would sleep with is
what would a woman do?
sleep with women who they would never be seen in public with. And as a woman, I was quite shocked by that, because women would never do that.
Are you serious? What about like all the times when, like, you know, like, I mean, I don't think a woman would want to be seen in society with a short guy, you know? Like, isn't that something that like a lot of people talk about? Like how women like kind of like judge guys like based off of the height or something like that. That's what I hear from like all of these like people online that like talk about this, even women too. That one girl from Just Pearly Things, she be talking about that. Like I think I heard her say it, and she's the one who said it, which is crazy. But I don't know, man. Like I would imagine that women probably wouldn't want to be like seen in society with a short guy, you know, or maybe even an ugly guy. Like there was this one guy, like I think I've showed you guys, right? Let me show you. Actually, I think right here. Age gaps. But like it's not even so much the age gap. It's this one. This guy right here. Let me show you. Not that one. Right here. Right here. No, man, come on. Where is it? This guy. These two are dating. That one. This guy is dating her, and you know what's crazy? Like going into society with this, there's like a big like society pressure on this girl to not be with this guy, you know, and for good reason too, because like they want women to like be champions, and right, they want their like guy to be a really successful guy, because that's what they imagine themselves being with. And so like when she hooks up with somebody like this, it just makes them look bad. I guess that's their thought process. So I would imagine that kind of societal pressure would get to women, so they wouldn't want to be seen with a guy like this, you know. So I don't know, man. Like it's intense. It's so complex. I don't even think it's just women. It's men too. Oh, actually, she just said that it was men. But like, yeah, like it's insane to think that like it's just men who do this. It's women too. And I think that women they're very, very like, they attack like really aggressively too. You know, like they're champions of women and they love to encourage women, but at the same time they could be very vicious too. So
the type of men that a woman would sleep with is on the same caliber as the type of man that she would have a relationship with. So women don't reduce their standards. I feel like I need to clarify and say physically. Women on average don't reduce their standard when it comes to physical appearance.
Mind blown too. Like I thought this is another thing that like men like to champion too, that like, you know, men are about looks, women are about the wallet or something like that. It's crazy because like that stereotype was always given to men, that men only care about beauty. But now it seems like this girl's opinion is that like, you know, women like they won't compromise their appeal, the man's appeal, and they won't like go out with somebody uglier than them or something like that, you know. Like I don't know, I'm so confused. I'm super confused because there's people saying one thing and then there's other people saying another thing.
Reduce their standard for who they'll sleep with in terms of personality. Like she might sleep with the bad boy or the douchebag who she would never take seriously in a relationship because he's not boyfriend material. But when it comes to physical appearance, women typically don't reduce their standards. They have the same standards for who they would date in a relationship and who they would sleep with. Whereas men, it's not the same. Like the men have this standard for who they will be in a relationship with, but then when it comes to who they'll sleep with, the standard is like here.
But those aren't mutually, oh my god.
Do you think that this is,
there you go, those aren't mutually connected though? Like because she's saying that like men will lower their standards, right, when it comes to like having intercourse with a woman, and then a woman won't compromise what she wants a man to look like. They don't correlate, you know, like, because at that point now you're talking about standards for a man when it comes to intercourse, and then the woman for looks. Or am I just missing something?
Having a very detrimental effect on the dating space, because I know this is going to sound bad, but I think the reason why women complain about settling so much is because a lot of them don't realize that what they deem as settling is actually their level. Because when they were sleeping with these really attractive guys, they thought, okay, this is my level, this person is attracted to me because I'm on his level, not knowing that men drastically reduce their standards when it comes to casual situations. A guy
Damn, that's evil, dude, to say that. But it might be the case that is what's going on, because like I used to have friends that would like they wouldn't even care about women. Like if the women, like the thing is that if the woman is hot and a man, at least my friends were going up to them, they wouldn't care if like they got with her. Like they were just trying to use her for just one thing, and that was it. And what's crazy is that they would like, no, but then again, it doesn't really, no, you know what, I'm not even gonna say, because I can't even verify it. But yeah, it's crazy to think that like, you know, the hotter you are, the more opportunity you have, but in reality you're just more of a vessel to a guy, you know. At least that's the narrative that's being told right now. Crazy.
I will never make a commitment with a woman who he doesn't think is the best that he could do. If he thinks he can do better than you, he's not gonna make you his girlfriend, but he will still sleep with you. Ladies, I promise I'm not trying to slut shame you. If you want to still live that life, that's entirely up to you. I'm not in the business of telling people how to live their lives. However,
I think that even as a guy too, like, you know, if you're going out there and just like having like intercourse with all sorts of women, and including women having all sorts of intercourse with men, then it's not really fulfilling, because at the end of it all, like, you're not like hugging up with them, you're not talking about something deep about life, you're not exploring new ideas. I don't know, man, like I just don't know like how somebody could just like live life without like knowing that they're giving themselves away to like somebody else, giving them a piece of yourself. I don't know, it's like this spiritual thing that's like going on in the mind. I cannot imagine myself just like having random hookups. And I was gonna be a player at one point, but I'll tell you guys more about that like later on. So yeah,
I would honestly strongly encourage you to consider the fact that some of these guys who you give yourselves to view you as just being better than their hand. Like that is how meaningful it is to them.
Because hookup culture benefits guys more than it will ever benefit girls.
Wait, hang on a second. You can't just say that. Like, how does it benefit men? Because I want to know.
People are going to disagree with me, but let me explain. For starters, we've been knew that...
Because as far as I'm concerned, right now there's hookup culture, right? It's super prevalent all over the world. Well, at least here in the Western society. But so I want to know, how is hookup culture benefiting men? Because as far as I'm concerned, men aren't having sex right now. So how is it that they're benefiting from it? You know, it seems to me like the ones that are benefiting from it are the women, because right now women are killing it. They're out there making more money. They are doing better academically. They're working out more than men. Dude, like hookup culture seems like it's fucking empowering women. The evidence does not point to what this woman's about to say.
Guys mainly just want sex. They rarely want commitment, but will do practically anything to get laid. Whereas girls...
Listen, man, I don't know about that. I really don't know about that, because so it seems like men are not having a lot of sex nowadays. It seems to me like, yeah, men love to have sex, but I think that they're willing to have sex with somebody that they want to be with, somebody that they love, you know? I cannot imagine, like, because I mean, what's the whole point of like the whole thing that's going on there? Like, why is it that like there's an incline of men that are sexless compared to that of women, you know? So I don't know, man. Like, and it seems to me like she's about to confidently talk about this. I don't know, man. I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I'm sure that there's experiences out there that women are about, that they talk about, but that's just an experience. It's not really like talking about the macro perspective of what's going on. And the macro perspective is that men aren't having sex right now.
Girls were not super horn dogs. Some of us are, but not to that extreme. Y'all want to hook up like equally and with no commitment, whatever, like you do, you live your life. I'm not judging. The problem is that guys tend to lead girls on because they want to keep getting what they want, which is a hookup. And then girls are painted out to be clingy or obsessive or psycho because they catch feelings. But realistically, it should be understandable to catch feelings when you're doing something so intimate instead of just being painted out as crazy. And what do girls even gain from it? Honestly, 5 minutes of faking it and not finishing 99% of the time, really don't.
That's a straw man. Okay, first off, that's not even the case. Okay, I'm pretty sure that in some way it's empowering women in some way, you know. But I mean, there are other women that are paying the price because it's not what they thought it was, you know. But
I'm missing out.
I've always found that term or that language really interesting. Catching feelings. Like, isn't that interesting how the natural response that happens from being intimate with someone, which is to develop feelings for them and to start to bond with them, is now talked about in a similar way to like catching the flu. I don't know, it's just interesting to me when people use that term, catching feelings. But going back to what she was saying, as someone who's never really took part in hookup culture, I've never experienced situationships or friends with benefits or one night stands. And I remember when I was in school, when I was in secondary school, people would say things like, oh, you know, you have to go through a hoe phase or whatever, and you kind of have to experience people in order to like know what you like. And so
yo, dude, this is not just women, this is men as well. There's this, so women have a hoe phase, men have a player phase, okay? And I almost became a player, okay? As a matter of fact, hang on, here it is. Watch this, okay? Hang on, let me make this a lot bigger. Okay, look at that. You see that? That used to be me. That used to be me. I used to look like this. I was not a player, but I used to look like that. Okay, I used to, you know what they used to call me? You used to say that I used to look like Daddy Yankee, and I don't know who that is, but like they say I used to look like him. And what's crazy is that like when I used to look like that, there's a lot of girls hitting me in my DMs, okay? Like I've had messages tell me, you know, like that, oh, my cousin accidentally sent you a friend request, but since we're talking, might as well just talk. Like stuff like that, stupid, bizarre shit like that I've never experienced before because I looked like this. So weird, man. And that's, by the way, that's when I was a lot younger. So weird stuff. And then during this time too, when I used to look like this, I also was talking to like 7 girls at once. Mind blown, okay? Unless you were like gonna be like a player yourself, you don't know this, but I'm gonna tell you this, okay? When you're talking to 7 girls, it is so hard to keep up with all those relationships. Now the thing is that the reason why it was so hard for me was because I wasn't objectifying women. I wasn't going out there and just not caring about their feelings. Dude, I cared about their feelings. I cared about how they felt. You know, I always wanted the girls I was with to feel great. Obviously, as you can see, if I have feelings involved, I was never meant to be a player because I would think about girls. You know, I don't know if players think about the feelings of girls. Something tells me that they don't, because obviously because they have so many girls around them, they just think that they have all these options, and so they don't really care about like how these girls feel. They just go ahead and just play them, just get with them, and they know that they can do better, which is crazy, man. And you know what's crazy? I've heard a lot, I don't know if it's true, but I wish it, like, if there's women who are watching this, if you guys can like comment down below. Like I really want to know, like, are women really like that? Like just what I described about being a player, are women like that too as well? I don't know. Because like I've heard stories about like women being players, and I've had girls who I felt were players, but I never let myself. I always felt like I needed to play games with them just so I can win them over, and that was like such a big turnoff. I really hated that. But very, very weird, man. Very weird stuff. Like when you look good.
That when you're in a relationship, you don't like think to yourself like, what if, or like, I wish I'd kind of experienced that, and you'll always be like longing for those experiences. So
I think it's more of society that kind of makes you feel like that, because I know that when I went through my player phase, a lot of people in my group that I used to hang out with were kind of putting those ideas in my mind. They were telling me stuff like, oh, you're gonna miss out, don't you want to try different girls, because there's small girls, there's big girls, there's thin girls, there's all sorts of girls. Like, they were like really painting it in a way that they felt justified why they acted the way they did. And I'm not gonna lie, it made a lot of sense, but at the same time, like, there was always that barrier of, oh, but what about the girls' feelings? Like, you know, like, they're, dude, like, you could really mess up a girl like that, you know? Now, I didn't know how to articulate that at the time, because I didn't exactly have the vocabulary to express that. But now I understand what I was feeling, and what I was feeling during that time was consideration for another person's feelings, because that's what stopped me from being a player. As a matter of fact, I didn't even like being a player, dude. I hated dressing up like this. Like, when I was dressing up like this, let me see if you can see it. Okay, let me show you. Okay, when I was dressing up like this, let it focus. When I was dressing up like that, I had earrings on. I had a haircut that I hated so much. I hated that haircut, dude. It was super thin. Like, it was just like a buzz cut. And then let's see what else. I will wear ties, white clothes, and then really tight fitting clothes. And I only weighed 140 during this time. I weigh 165 now, but during that time I used to weigh 140, and so like my jawline was super well defined. It's crazy stuff, dude. I can't believe that time, dude. Like, it's unbelievable. Honestly, it really is.
you have to kind of go through that phase. To me, it just didn't make any sense. My headset was very much like, why should I just give myself to people? Because it's funny, because I used to have this saying. I don't know if I want to say it because it's going to offend some people. Screw it, I'm going to say it.
Yeah, just real quick before she says it, I think exactly like this too. I don't like giving myself to other people, dude. Like, it's stupid. Like, I don't know how guys can do that shit. I'm pretty sure girls can do that as well, but like, I just do not understand how somebody could just give themselves out to somebody. I feel like it's your own, you have your own experience, you know? I'm not even gonna talk about that. I was gonna tell you guys a story, but it's inappropriate. I'm not gonna talk about it.
I used to have this belief. Don't be offended by this, okay? Because this was specifically for me. I was talking about myself and how I viewed myself when I was saying this. So don't accuse me of slut shaming or whatever nonsense. But the saying that I used to live by was, I always want to treat my body like a temple, not a McDonald's drive-through. But that was generally the mindset that I had, and because of that, I just never.
Bro, you know what, man? Yeah, I can see how a young person would think something like that. But it's a lot more complex than that. It's you know, because I personally don't like slut shaming, because the thing is, it's like we're humans, bro. Like, we're meant to like experience and like be fulfilled, you know? Of course, like right now society has us like thinking a certain way, or we don't know what to think. But one day I feel like everybody's just gonna be like thinking the exact same thing, at least when it comes to like the fantasies, the sexual fantasies that people think of, and like they're just gonna be expressing it with no bars to hold them back, you know? But yeah, I don't know, man. This whole thing about like sex is just such a, it's so complex, you know? I know there's people out there who say like, who cares about that? Like, I don't know why people get so obsessed about that, bro. It matters a lot. It really does matter a lot. That's why we're having an entire discussion about this stuff. So don't tell yourself that it doesn't matter, when in reality it plays such a big role in our lives. Don't downplay it, because when you downplay it, it's kind of an insult to like the people who don't experience the sexual experience, and you know, and then you start to wonder why there's so many hate groups existing, when you're kind of just downplaying it.
Took part in any of that stuff, because I just always believed that your body is so precious. Like, your body is so precious, and I just don't think that everybody should get to experience it. Not everybody should get to have that experience, and this applies to everybody. I think all of us have value, and I think that we should be selective with who we choose to share ourselves with, men and women. So if you're someone who's currently hearing loads of people tell you that you should experience that phase in your life, you should go for a hoe phase, you'll regret it if you don't, I can tell you that I never taken part in hookup culture.
And not only that, hang on. The people who were telling me to do that, I stopped being their friend, bro, because I was so tired of hearing that shit. Like, I was so tired of like them telling me like, you gotta go experience it, go out there and experience it, go out there and pick up a girl. And then every single time I would go out with them, they would always tell me like, go talk to her, go talk to her. Like, I didn't want to talk to her, I didn't want to go up to them. So I kind of felt pressure to go do it, but I hated it, dude. I really hated being around people like that.
And I am in a relationship with the same person who I've been with for 7 years, and I am as happy as I possibly could be. I don't regret my decision whatsoever. In fact, I'm very happy with my decision. So if you know in your heart of heart that you are not built to have casual sex, and you know in your heart of heart that you want to have something more meaningful, don't conform just because that's what everybody else is doing. Do I think that we can go back from hookup culture? I think we can, but I think that women may not know this, but we control the value of sex. There was a time when if men wanted to have sex, they had to marry you. Whereas now...
I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. I mean, this is just I personally feel that this is a stereotype. And this is basically off of empirical evidence, okay? Which means that this hasn't been tested, and I cannot verify this, but something tells me that this is probably not true. I don't know why. I get that feeling. But then again, there are people who have, you know, fought others because of a woman. But that will probably be because of love rather than sex. I don't know, man. This is something that I would have to probably do a lot of research on, because it's really complex.
Now, the price of sex is Netflix and chill. So the standards have changed, and we've allowed them to change because we wanted to prove that we could do it just as bad as the boys. And I think that that is backfiring. Most people who I hear complain about hookup culture are women, to be honest. And I think that there's a reason for that. And I mean, you can fully explore your sexuality and your sexiness and fully, you know, discover yourself and your...
Wait, but the only reason why women are complaining about it is because aren't women mostly the ones that are having sex? Men aren't having sex. So, I mean, we don't even know how they feel about it, you know? But it seems to me like they have a problem with it for sure, because again, like, it seems to me like men just kind of want to have like a woman to themselves. They don't want to be going out there and like, you know, getting or hooking up with everybody. At least that's what I'm starting to feel. That's the kind of impression I'm getting based off of everything that I'm seeing online. But I could be wrong.
Body, etc., in the security of your relationship. Like, there's no reason why you have to explore that with strangers who don't care about you. And I often as well see all the time on TikTok women complaining about the O gap and how men can't even satisfy them and stuff. And it's like, well, if you were sleeping with someone who actually cared about you, then that wouldn't be an issue that you'd be complaining about. Because when you're sleeping with a stranger, he doesn't care, he's not going to see you again. I personally think hookup culture was a terrible experiment.
What the heck is the O gap? I've never heard that. It's a social phenomenon referred to gender disparity between heterosexual men and women in terms of sexual. The orgasm gap was a term coined to describe the disparity in orgasms between couples, also known as orgasm inequality. Studies have used. What? In heterosexual relationships, women on average are having fewer orgasms than men. A problem that... What the... Bro, what? I've never heard of this. I have to do research on this. There's a disparity? And men are having more orgasms even though men aren't having sex? This is mind-blowing, bro. This is mind-blowing. I'm telling you, I know nothing about this stuff. Like, it's... it just gets weirder and weirder and more complex.
And I think that it has harmed both men and women. I'm also, by the way, going to do a video on the negative effects of hookup culture on men. I wanted this video to be more centered around women, but I will also touch on the ways in which I think it's been a negative for men too in my next video, probably on Saturday or next Wednesday, we'll see. But ultimately,
And it's right here too. Oh, we gotta watch it, bro. We gotta watch it.
as I said before, I'm not in the business of telling people how to live their lives. If you really enjoy hookup culture and it's something that you want to continue to engage in, then, you know, do you. However, I think that there are a lot of women who don't enjoy it. There's also a lot of regret from some women once they reach their 40s for taking part in hookup culture. Because when you see people glamorizing hookup culture, they're usually young. But if you pay attention to the older women, they are the ones who are the most regretful and filled with regret, because they get lonely. I don't know how else to say this, but eventually you're not going to be as hot as you are right now. And you're going to want to settle down. And then it's gonna hit you real hard that the sexual market does not value you as much as it did when you were in your 20s.
To be fair, oh my god, I'm so sorry. What's your name? Patience? Patience, I'm so sorry. I keep making like bad faces on your face. Okay, hang on a second. But we don't even understand what the women are going through. You know, because there's a lot of factors that could be affecting an older woman, and she could just be attributing that to relationships. You know, when in reality, there's probably many more factors that are affecting her life other than just that relationship issue. You know, so
culture is fun when you're young because you've got limitless options. But there is a time when those options start to disappear. And so settling down and finding someone, it becomes a lot harder because you don't have as many options as you did when you're in your 20s.
Hey, TikTok.
Oh, I hate this video. I really feel so bad for this lady. Like,
You know, it's crazy because I joke a lot about being single and, you know, I laugh it off. But I'm 46 years old. And while I'm getting ready for surgery and everything, it dawned on me. Hold on. I'm sorry. It dawned on me that I'm 46 years old and I don't have a husband to take care of me. I don't have a husband to help me get ready. I'm 46 years old and I still need my mama to take care of me post-op. I still need my sister, which whether I had a husband or not, they would be there. It sucks. Being single and 46 sucks. It just sucks. And I'm fucking tired. And I make jokes about the fucking buffoons that I have been encountering in dating. But in reality, this is my reality. This is my reality. This is my reality, and those stories are the shit that's available because all the good men have gotten married in their 20s and 30s because they're good men. I'm not blaming it all on men because women are fucking shit. They're fucking batshit crazy too. So, but this is my reality.
I do think that is important.
damn, that's kind of a hard video to watch. I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't understand her situation, but it's terrible to be in a position like that. And I know that, like, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna be like, that's what she deserves, you know, like that's what she gets for, you know, participating in hookup culture. She wasn't looking for a man early on. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like there's a lot of things that, like, societal pressures that make you think that, you know, having a whole phase is exactly what you need. And for some people it works, but for other people like myself, having that little player phase, it doesn't. It's just not for us because we consider people's feelings. And just like girls too, they don't like having a whole phase because they just can't imagine playing a guy like that. Like, they just can't, you know. So I know there's people out there, men who like to go out there and just bash women and just like rip them apart. Like, I'm pretty sure that video that she just showcased, I'm pretty sure there's other guys out there, and women too as well, who have taken that video and just ripped her apart because, I mean, you know, because of the way she's living right now. But I don't want to kick her down. I mean, I don't want to kick her while she's down. Like, I think that's bad etiquette on a person, especially like myself. I don't really like practicing those kind of behaviors. So
important for women to date intentionally and to be more calculated with their decisions in terms of what they're doing, not to just mindlessly date guys for who you know it's not going to go anywhere with, or date guys who aren't taking you very seriously. And so yeah, that's just my personal opinion on hookup culture. I would like to know what your opinions though are on hookup culture, so do let me know down below in the comments. Do follow me on my socials, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for giving me your time today, and I will see you on Saturday.
oh, this is a great video. I really enjoyed it. I definitely want to watch this one, but we're gonna watch this one some other time. Final thoughts. I don't know what to think, honestly, because I want to say that hookup culture has affected me, but I don't know in what ways, but I'm sure it has. Maybe the girls don't want to like talk to me whenever I approach them because they want somebody else, somebody better looking to come up to them. So I guess in a way like that, but that's not really hookup culture. That's just more like dating, you know, or attempting to date. I'm not even at the hookup part, you know, so I could say that it hasn't affected me because I never took part in it, and I don't want to take part in it. I feel like it's dumb, it's stupid, but who knows? No, actually, I shouldn't say that. I don't know what the benefits of hookup culture are, and honestly, I don't know if I want to experience them because I have consideration for other people's feelings, and I don't know. The only way I can ever hook up with somebody is if I actually like the person. If I like the person and we have like this mutual understanding. But then again, like somebody will always end up developing feelings for another person, which then it gets complicated after that. So I still don't even know if it's a good idea to even engage in hookup culture, even if you do like the person or you know the person. I don't know. It's just my thoughts, but nonetheless, a great video by Patience Xina. Awesome video, dude. I'm definitely gonna take a look at this one too. So